What up, guys? Mad Viking here. Let me fix my tripod. There's been a little bit of WrestleMania news, not much, but I mean, from what I got, well, what's going on today is I guess Vince and company finally came to the conclusion that they're kind of sort of holding all the wrestlers hostage in Orlando. So they gave them all the outs, the option to go home and be with their families during basically what's become martial law without calling it martial law. We're not to the point where they're going to tell us we have to live indoors for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks like they're doing in Italy and other places. But they're letting the wrestlers go, but I think they're only doing it because AEW did it last week. And of course, they have to look good now because AEW gave the option to their wrestlers to go home. So I don't know how many are going to do it, but I'm sure people will. There will be certain people who go home and take advantage of it. I don't know that I would go home. I wasn't worried about any of this until all this mass hysteria kicked off. I mean, yesterday they activated the National Guard here in Florida, which they already done in New York, and they're supposed to be enforcing curfews and quarantining entire blocks of the city and roadblocks and shit. They're not. I haven't seen anybody yet in Florida, but I mean, activation is they called them in. They're getting their gear together, and they're going to deploy them in state. So I hope we don't go this hysterical with it here in Florida. But once Trump made his announcement, or the national emergency announcement, that's when food and stuff started flying off the shelves. You could still find toilet paper, whatever, no problem. There's just the most generic, I think it's Scott's toilet paper, single roll, and that plastic wrappers. You can find some of those still in the grocery store. That's about it. So people are freaking now because a lot of people, including myself, I wasn't taking any of this serious. I wasn't worried. This is just the next epidemic of the day. I've lived through about 12 of them now in my lifetime, and nothing happens. Yes, some people are dying, but they're all old people. I mean, 30-something people got wiped out in the state of Washington in a retirement home because somebody walked in there sick, and that's more than half of the death toll in America. I mean, there's already been people who have the virus, and they recovered 3 days later. All they had was a mild headache or a fever. One lady said she had a fever for 3 hours, and that was it. But we're going balls to the wall, insane with this. But like I said, the wrestlers are being told to go home. I don't know what the WWE would do. I think before I would have sent them home, I think maybe I would have done some TV tapings, do 2 or 3 shows in a row, and then be like, hey, you guys can go home. I don't think they've gone that route because obviously what was at SmackDown? They just showed a bunch of Elimination Chamber stuff and some in-ring stuff. It was cool to see the tag team match. That was pretty interesting for the Chamber. But there is word that's what they're going to do with this next one too. Throw in some more Elimination Chamber pay-per-view footage. The deal with Mania, I did learn some things with Mania. The reason Vince isn't calling it, even though we all know it's not happening, is because if Vince himself cancels the show, there's the insurance policy on the event. If he cancels it, he can't cash in the insurance policy and recover some money. If the state does it and ends it for him, he's fine, and they'll actually come out ahead with the insurance money. So that's what's going on. I mean, like I said, the National Guard was activated in Florida. No one's letting WWE run WrestleMania right now in the state of Florida. So people are throwing out dates that it's going to be June 7th or whatever, but I have yet to see a date being said, made official. I hope there isn't some mass exodus. I know a lot of the people in WrestleCon, some of the promoters are like, if this event doesn't go on, I'm going to have to sell my home and live in my car. They're like, this is their biggest event all year, and this is what they make money off of. And they're like, flights have been booked, hotels, all of our equipments, whatever. They're like, if this doesn't happen, we're ruined. And I think that's what's hitting a lot of these people. I still want to go to my Impact show I bought tickets for. Ring of Honor is still saying they're powering through. They're going to have these events. But, I mean, they did cancel 2 shows, but one was in New York, and New York's already gone crazy with this. And I think the other one was in Las Vegas, and I don't know what the reason was, why it was for. I mean, people are just canceling stuff right now because they're being told to cancel stuff. The heat is supposed to kill this freaking virus, and they canceled all kids' sports, which was outside here in Florida over the weekend. But unless they declare all-out martial law, I mean, I don't know how much longer they're going to confine people, be able to confine them to their homes or whatnot without the military involved, because people are already sick of it, like myself. I mean, the virus is weaker than the common flu. I don't get the flu, and most people don't get it in general. So, I mean, my theory is this is the reason why our governments are going batshit crazy over this. Because who is this virus affecting the most? The old, the elderly. Who run all the countries across the globe? The old, the elderly. Look at our Congress. Look at our Speaker of the House. She looks like the walking frickin' dead. If any of those people got remotely sick, they would probably wipe out half of the House and Congress altogether. And I think that's why this is being done the way it's being done. It's because it's to protect them. It's not to protect us. It's to stop the spread from reaching the old people in power. And I guarantee you 100% that is the reason for all this mass hysteria. And all these doctors, I posted on my Facebook page, and I've watched another one today. There was 2 doctors that came out. They're like, there's no need for this lockdown. None of this is necessary. You don't need weeks worth of food, but you need, we don't. I went out and bought some food. And I'm going to go out and buy some more too, because I have my niece and nephew here. And I mean, they're out of school for at least 2 weeks, but the rumor is school is done for the rest of the school year, if not longer. So you have 2 more mouths to feed every day, 3 times a day. You have to buy more food. But I mean, right now, the stores are getting pretty bare. I went yesterday, picked up some canned goods and weird shit like, stuff from the deli. I mean, not the deli, the produce section where you can get like trail mix and things like that, dehydrated fruits and vegetables. Because I'm like, that shit can last forever. You never know we don't know how hysterical they're going to go with this. I mean, this is basically week 1 of their lockdown scenario. So yeah, it doesn't hurt to buy food, but other than some canned goods, I mean, it was basically just a store full of junk food. I mean, ice cream, potato chips. But they're telling you not to panic and not to buy food and all this shit because it's not necessary. But they don't know that. We're out. It's going to be out of our hands at some point. But I don't know. That was just my update. We all know Mania is not happening. They are sending wrestlers home. I'm going to be curious to see who's going to be on Raw, who's going to still be sticking around. But like I said, if they were smart about this, they should have probably done a couple of shows before they sent people home. Because this is not ending in the next couple of weeks, I don't think. They only say it's a mandatory 2-week thing, but as of right now. But I mean, if more cases keep popping up, they're going to keep these freaking mandates going. So I don't know. I just wanted to get that out. I think everybody has come to the conclusion Mania is not happening. But I just wanted to get that information out. They gave wrestlers the option to go home. But like I said, AEW did it first, so they're following suit because they don't want to look like a-holes, especially, what was it, a few days ago when we're like, oh, we're all about protecting our staff and wrestlers and blah, 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 blah. No, you're not, when you're forcing them all to stick around in Orlando, and probably most of them don't live there because you need to keep your shows going. Granted, a lot of the NXT guys live in Orlando, but do the Raw and SmackDown people, do the 205 people? No. And making them come in every week to film, they're walking through a contaminated airport, they're getting in contaminated airplanes, rental cars, then they're coming to the Performance Center to film their stuff. So at some point, the wrestlers are going to come across something, and when one of them does, they're going to wipe out the entire... Well, like I said, they're not going to wipe them out, but they're going to get sick, and some for who knows how long. Because it's not like... Well, there's some elderly people working for the company, but not wrestling for the company. But anyways, guys, I hope some of you prepared. I think it's so funny because I know a few people here, and they didn't even have the common sense to just, in case, go out and buy a couple extra rolls of toilet paper. So last night they were begging people for toilet paper because they don't have any anymore and they can't find it. So hopefully, if your town isn't gone batshit crazy yet, that you that you go out and buy some essentials just in case, because we don't know what's coming. We don't know how long this is going to last. This is really only week 1. I need to get something to drink. So, anyways, guys, that's it. I just wanted to get that out. That was the only really update, but like I said, we all know Mania is not happening, at least not now. But that was today's kind of news and update. I don't know why they're hesitating. I guess they wouldn't have, like I said in my other videos, they wouldn't have to worry too much, I guess, about packing stuff up to go to Saudi Arabia if they do that. But I mean, if they do that for Mania, they got to start doing it. They got to go now. I mean, it's a couple of weeks away. But I think I already discussed that in other videos too. If I hear anything else, guys, I'll let you guys know. If I didn't have my niece and nephew here, I'd be pumping out these videos for other things that I've wanted to do for a while. I basically spend all day and most of the night over at my mom's because she has them there, but I'm the one who's entertaining them and whatnot. So I'm not really in my house. I basically go home to sleep and feed my cats. And I'm basically going out the door now to go pick up some more stuff, some more food, because the word on the street, like I said, is school is done for the rest of the school year. I mean, this is March. Kids get out in May and June. It's crazy. So you got to get what you can while you're there, or why it's around, why it's available. So anyways, guys, stay safe. Take some precautions. I'm not one of these panickers who think 8 million people are going to die in America, but I mean, you gotta prepare yourself just a wee little bit, just a wee bit. So anyways, guys, that's it for now. Hit like, leave a comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Stay safe and get some TV for your bunghole. All right, guys, I will catch you later.